Saw the launch of the hugely popular Wii and Nintendo DS consoles. Well, with me now to discuss this is Scullion, a gamer and freelance journalist. We can't underestimate the contribution that Mr. Iwata made to the gaming industry. Just tell us why he was such a big figure.
I think the important thing is Iwata is one of the few kind of corporate heads in the gaming industry who you felt truly had games at heart. For him, profits almost came as a kind of byproduct of his kind of focus on making people laugh and making people smile in his games. And to the extent that Iwata didn't quite feel like the president of Nintendo, he felt like Nintendo itself. So his death it feels like almost like a part of Nintendo itself has died.
Yeah, Mark Einstein, head of digital media at Frost & Sullivan in Tokyo, said that he was very much known for being a gamer first and a CEO second, which sums up what you've just said there.
Yeah.
Very much at the heart of products and experiencing them for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. The important thing is Iwata was a programmer and a game developer first before he became president of Nintendo. So he had a background in actually making a lot of the kind of early Nintendo games that gave the company its success. He created Kirby, which was one of Nintendo's most loved characters. He created Balloon Fight, which was an old Nintendo game. So he had a kind of passion for making games first and kind of inherited the president's role. So it was important that this is someone who clearly loves games first and
foremost. And you brought some of the products in that may be pretty familiar to a lot of us. I mean, they became household names. Just talk us through some of the items that you've got.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, obviously you've got the DS here, which was the first big, bold creation that Nintendo had made.
And when did this come out, Chris?
This came out in 2000. This was the later model, but the original model came out in 2005. And this was at a time when Nintendo was struggling quite severely financially, and it was looking like they were about to post their first loss in quite some time. So the DS was a kind of a shift in mood for Nintendo. They decided to go away from pushing technology and decided to focus on innovation instead.
And this, many people will remember. I mean, this is the one that I remember the most growing up as well. It's the one that kind of revolutionised the gaming world, didn't it, when it came out? Yeah,
I mean, this is the newer model of the DS. Yes, this is like a more modern version of it. But yeah, certainly over the years, Nintendo have had, it's been Nintendo's handheld division, which for the most part has made them the most success, and Iwata has been like a strong figurehead of that. And then obviously you had the Wii, which kind of transformed the home gaming scene and opened up gaming to a massive new demographic that perhaps hadn't been considered gamers in the past.
And just talk us through that little figure just on the end of our table there.
It's interesting because this kind of represents both Nintendo's past and future. This is a chap called Ness from a game called Earthbound, which isn't a kind of well-known game in the West. This is a game that Iwata developed and programmed himself. And it's a kind of cult game among Nintendo fans, but it's also an amiibo figure, which is Nintendo's newest kind of project and craze. So you've got these little small figures which can scan into games, and they're an enormous success story for Nintendo just now, and seems to be the kind of creation that's going to turn around their fortunes.
What impact do you think his death will have on Nintendo and their plans? Because I know that they're very much trying to think of what they were going to come up with next in terms of mobile gaming here, and Iwata's death is perhaps going to really change their thoughts about what to come out with next, perhaps?
Yeah, certainly, because Iwata's always been kind of famously known for being resistant to the move to mobile gaming. For many years people have suggested that Nintendo should make the move to mobile, and Iwata's always famously resisted it and said no, we need to focus on our standalone systems. And only just recently Nintendo announced, yeah, okay, we're going to make the move to mobile. So his death comes at quite an important time in Nintendo's history, because this could make or break the company.
Is there an obvious person to take up his position now at Nintendo?
I think the Nintendo fans would hope that Shigeru Miyamoto, who created Mario and Zelda and Nintendo's more kind of popular creations, should take over. He's kind of been making sounds in recent years that he's no longer interested in heavily focusing on making games, and he'd like to take a more kind of supervisory role. So it would seem that Miyamoto is probably the best bet to replace him.
We're grateful for your time, Chris. Thank you very much for joining us, Chris Scullion, and thank you very much for bringing the products as well on the death of Scullion Iwata there, who's died at the age of 57. Let's just bring you an update on a couple of pieces of breaking news and some other breaking news that's coming to us, this time from Kenya, where we understand that 5 people, including 2 policemen, have been killed near the